I went to a Donald Trump speech on acid and was met with super bad vibes. A post by the user Flipper8288 posted to the Psychonauts subreddit 8 years ago. It was a stupid idea to begin with, honestly. First off, my friends wanted to go to the Trump rally just for fun, even when they don't support his ideas. And then in the car on the way there, one of my friends tells me he just got hold of some acid, and he thought it'd be hilarious to be tripping at a Donald Trump speech. Even just to say that we did it, and that it'll be a funny story to look back on. We all just think, why not? And drop 2 hits each. Bad idea. We walk into the place and just know that something is very wrong. The tension in the air was flowing through our bodies. Everyone looked angry about something. 10 minutes pass, and we all realise we must escape from this hell on earth before we lose every ounce of sanity we have left. We head for the exits. It's packed with people and security. We're not going to make it. We all agree to head back to our seats for now. Even though we really could have made it out, we were just tripping too hard to be rational. So Trump comes out, and the whole building starts shaking with chants of USA, USA, USA. It was proud patriotism with an undertone of depraved violence, and you could just feel it. We all look at each other with the most dreadful look in our eyes, knowing we really just fucked ourselves into oblivion. So, here's the rest of the story. I put both of my arms around my friends, and tell them I love them deeply, and that we will make it through this experience together, like we always do. This seemed to reassure my friends a little, and it also gave me a sense of comfort that I had 2 trustful companions by my side, even if their minds were right now being messed up beyond measure. If anything, genuine trust and unconditional love was the only saviour we had left right now. The peak started to intensify about 5 minutes later, or was it 5 seconds into his speech? Either way, we were sitting on the left side, ground level, about 150 feet away from Mr. Trump. We got a terrific view of his exquisite hairpiece in person that genuinely seemed to have a mind of its own, as it was breathing and taking on different forms throughout the whole speech. The visuals were up to par with around 200 micrograms in my experience, some rare strong street acid. This was just my luck in this situation. My mind begins to wander as I stop forwarding my conscious attention to his rhetoric and start observing people in the crowd. I started to think about how weird the human race is. The woman in front of me had brought 5 of her kids to this rowdy cesspool. All her kids kept glancing and staring at us. One peeked around the corner of his stroller and stared straight into my fucking soul for, well, I don't even know how long, and then proceeds to point out how big my pupils are.
Mummy, look how big his eyes are.
The mother hears it and glances at me with the most heinous expression on her face. She definitely knew I was up to something. I start paying attention to Trump again, and his face starts to subtly melt. The melting intensifies until his face looks like a wax statue thrown into a furnace. I point this out to my friends, and they start seeing it as well. Trying to hold back laughter on 2 hits of strong acid doesn't really work, and we just burst out laughing while Mr. Trump is speaking. He pauses his speech, but doesn't pay us any mind, as we cover our mouths very quickly. But I can tell you that everyone around us knew we were on something though. Protesters in the crowd kept yelling things, and were getting dragged out by security. One guy yells,
Trump did 9/11. Open your eyes to the truth.
This is when I realised that the opposition is just as idiotic as the supporters. As a country, we are digging our own graves. I start to look at myself, and I fall into a deep state of personal introspection. What was the motive exactly for me taking this action? Why was I here at a Trump rally on 2 hits of LSD? Was I searching for some hidden truth by way of chemicals? Or was I here for good fun? All I did know was I was just as irrational as the others that I looked down upon. You know how sometimes you have those moments of eternity on LSD? Yeah, well, that was happening all night. The speech felt like it kept looping over and over and over and over and over again. Muslims this, guns this, illegals that, and something about Hillary Clinton being disgusting by using the restroom. Then, every 5 minutes after a bold statement, the crowd erupts into mindless cheers and applause. It was an endless time loop. This was when I actually convinced myself that I was living out the novel 1984. I genuinely believed this. I genuinely believed that Trump was Big Brother. Holy shit, what an epiphany this was. Trump is Big Brother. Yeah, this is when the trip started to take a bad turn again. But wait, a miracle. The loop is over. We're saved. The devil is done with his rhetoric, finally. The speech was over, and we can finally get out of this zoo now. We figure we're all too messed up to drive, so we call someone to pick us up. After this transpired, we had a deep discussion about politics, America, philosophy, Trump's hairpiece, and how incredibly idiotic we truly are.